Hey all, it's Jeff Kickle with Entrepreneur Essentials 2.0, and this is our Freedom Day editions of the show. So I started the show yesterday talking a little bit about why I'm doing the Freedom Day, and that every day I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about what's going on, what I've done, what I'm working on for the day, just so that you can follow along, learn a little bit about this, and learn a little bit about Freedom Day. So I wanted to share with you a little bit about what I term as Freedom Day. Freedom Day was something that I spoke about to a lot of my clients that were in our financial practice, and we were doing financial planning and starting to talk to people about retirement. And it just wasn't resonating, especially with younger people. When you start to talk about retirement, it's just something that's so far out there that they really don't realize what it is. And retirement isn't really a time period. It could be earlier or later for some people, depending on what you do. So I started discussing the concept of Freedom Day, that first day in your life where you have either enough income or assets to be able to basically live for the rest of your life. It's the first day you got up and went to work and didn't actually have to be there that day. So I have had that conversation. I'm working on a book on that topic, but I really started to realize that there is a Freedom Day for business owners. Because one of the things on the original Freedom Day that we talk about is, you can accelerate that process by either starting a side hustle, starting a business, and working in your current job, but also having a business on the side that is either building up assets or building up to the point where you could leave your employer and work in your own business. Well, I also realized when I started to talk to a lot of business owners that I work with, and honestly myself to this point, I was starting to realize that even though I had left working for someone else, I kind of built a job for myself that I couldn't get away from, and I owned the company, but I also was a key employee of the company, and I just kind of switched one job for another job at that point. And reading the book Clockwork made me really start to think about how to change my business, both financially and structurally, operationally, to where I wasn't such a key component of the business, that the business could run without me. And I call that Freedom Day for business. And this is really what these reports are going to be about. When I come up here on a daily basis, I'll tell you a little bit about what's going on, explain to you why, what I'm working on that day, and it's all leading to my Freedom Day. And I told you yesterday that Freedom Day is September 17th, 2021. So I've given myself about 11 months to get to that point. So let's talk a little bit about what I worked on today. A couple things that I was working on, first of which is I'm continuing to do my analysis of time and walk through literally everything I'm doing every day and determine if, what I'm doing on a daily basis. So I'll share a little bit about with that tomorrow with you. Today, I've also been working on the financials for the business and looking at doing an instant analysis. And an instant analysis is something that Mike Michaelowicz termed in Profit First, another book that he has. Really what it is and what it lays out is taking your top line revenues, subtracting any material and subcontractors that it requires. So in my business, I don't really have any subcontractors that I would upcharge or something like that. So, basically it's my top line revenue is what's called my real revenue. From there, you also look at what profit you've taken for the last year. You look at your owner's compensation, what you've taken for the last year, what taxes you've saved or paid during that time period, and then operating expenses. Now, all of those things, profit, owner's comp, tax, and operating expenses should all add up to your real revenue for the year. So that's what we need to figure out. So I'm doing an instant assessment right now. Once that's done, And the whole idea of this is to get out of that scramble mode and build a profitable business instantly. Every single person can have a profitable business right away by just simply emphasizing profits in your business and stopping what is called the GAAP, so the generally accepted accounting principles of revenue minus expenses equals profit, and changing that to be revenue minus profit equal expenses. Once you change your mindset around that, you are always going to be profitable, because what happens is you bring revenue in, you take out your profits, then you've got to live with whatever's left over. And it makes you a lot more efficient, a lot leaner of a business. So that's the framework that we're working with right now. I'm in the process of doing that. Once I have that analysis done, and it's very simple, it's a simple little spreadsheet that you fill out, we'll set some target percentages that we want to have. So in my size of business, that means that that's roughly about 10% goes to profits, 15% goes to taxes, roughly about 35% goes to income for the owners, and then the balance of whatever's left over is the expenses that we can have. And we've got to figure out how to get to that percentage, over time. It's not going to happen right away. We're going to start with what the current percentages are and make some minor adjustments, and then slowly work our way over time to that point. So that's what I'm working on this week. That's what I will be working on tonight when I go home. This is a project that I have stuff going on during the day, but there's other things that I'm working on at night on some of these projects. I'll let you know kind of where we're at and where we need to be, and be sharing a few more of these things as we go. So thanks for listening. Hopefully I see you back here. Please feel free to leave a comment, or, hey, you're doing great, or whatever, or you're an idiot, stop doing what you're doing and get off my Instagram or my Facebook. But here to answer any questions y'all might have, share with you some of the trials and tribulations that are going on. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.